Good afternoon, distinguished guests and participants. Thanks to the Institute of Middle East Studies at Hancock University of Foreign Studies for hosting this important investment event. My presentation will be on carbon neutrality and green growth in my country, UAE, and business opportunities for Korean companies. It will be in the three parts: bilateral relationships, UAE efforts in carbon neutrality, and last, opportunities for Korean foreign FDI, foreign direct investments in carbon neutrality business in UAE. First part, bilateral relations. I will not take long on the bilateral relations between the two countries, as you are all familiar with the progress made. This shows how the ties have developed over the past 4 decades. The two countries are now special strategic partners. UAE efforts towards carbon neutrality. I now move to the efforts made by the UAE towards carbon neutrality. Over the course of more than 3 decades, the UAE has many tremendous efforts to work for climate at the local and global levels. For example, accession to Vienna Convention for the Protection of Ozone Layer in 1989, accession to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate in 1995, ratification of Kyoto Agreement in 2005, accession to Paris Agreement in 2015 as one of the first countries in the region, and last other you can see in the slide. UAE National Climate Change Plan. The plan was announced in 2017. It aims at contributing effectively to countries' trend towards economic diversification. How? It provides effective systems and incentives to the private sector in the development process. UAE submissions of the Second National Determined Contribution, NDC. The UAE submitted its NDC in 2020. The NDC raises the ceiling of the emissions reduction target by 70 million tons by 2030. It will achieve a reduction in the intensity of the country's total emissions by 23.5% by 2030 compared to 2016 rates. The NDC increases share of domestic clean energy to reach a production capacity of 14 gigawatts by 2030, compared to 100 megawatts in 2015. UAE Net Zero by 2050 Strategic Initiative. The climate neutrality refers to the goal of minimizing country contributions to global greenhouse gas emission and offsetting the rest of the emissions. The initiative aims at achieving climate neutrality in UAE 2050. It offers new opportunities for economic progress and also further establish the UAE as an ideal location to live, work, raise families, and create communities. As Minister Mariam Al-Miheri, UAE Minister of Climate Change, says, it will diversify and build a knowledge-based economy, adopt principles of a green and circular economy, protect environment, attract foreign direct investment, and develop competencies in future growth areas. UAE support of green projects. Locally, the UAE now is home to 3 of the largest solar facilities in the world. The UAE is the first country in the region to use peaceful nuclear power, Karra project, constructed by Korean consortium, and to develop industrial-scale carbon capture, utilization, and storage. And globally, the UAE has also supported green infra and clean energy projects worldwide. It has invested in renewable energy ventures of around $16.8 billion in 70 countries. UAE also provided more than $400 million in aid and soft loans for clean energy projects. UAE's active engagement at COP26. What's the UAE aid at COP26 in Glasgow? UAE plans to raise a plant of trees from 30 million to 100 millions by 2030. Ratification of Declaration on Forests and Land Use. Endorsement of leaders' pledge towards nature. Launch of a roadmap to lead hydrogen production with the aim of capture 25% of the market. And last, launch of the global platform to accelerate the deployment of renewable energy projects and solutions in developing countries. UAE hosts of COP28. During COP26, the UAE was selected to host COP28 in 2023 in Abu Dhabi. The selection shows the international community's recognition of UAE's commitment to support the entire globe efforts to overcome the threat of climate change. Main pillars of UAE greenhouse gas emissions mitigation. Use of clean energy solutions to address climate change and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The UAE began financing clean energy projects more than 15 years ago and has invested over $40 billion in the sector to date. In 2020, capacity of clean energy was around 14 gigawatt by 2030, up from about 100 megawatt in 2015 and 2.4 gigawatt in 2020. Why all these carbon neutrality efforts? To meet the Paris Agreement, need to update relevant plans, strategies and policies, need to implement initiatives and projects by stakeholders in energy, economic, industry, infrastructure, transport, waste, agriculture and the environment. Means to implement green efforts. This will shift to green economy, transformation of energy, use of energy technologies and solutions, introduction of circular economy technologies, expansion of modern sustainable farming system, and last, introduction of modern technologies and solutions to raise the capabilities of all sectors. Now we'll move to the opportunities for Korean foreign direct investment in UAE. UAE is a favorable place for FDI in carbon neutrality solutions in the UAE for the following reasons. The green policies enhance the UAE standing as an attractive destination for environment. There is a need for international collaboration in developing practical solutions. And His Excellency Sultan Al Jaber, Minister of Industry and Advanced Technologies, and the UAE Special Envoy to the Climate Change, mentions that the Net Zero Initiative is an open invitation to the world to collaborate with the UAE in developing practical solutions, boosting multilateralism and creating opportunities for sustainable socio-economic development. Republic of Korea's efforts in carbon neutrality. I will not talk about this as everyone here is familiar with the situation. I have to mention here that at the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week last January, President Moon said that Korea will join hands more firmly with UAE for sustainable future. Prospects for Korean FDI in UAE. Korean companies have the advanced technologies for carbon neutrality. Koreans are encouraged to increase FDI in the UAE to match the special strategic partnership between the two countries. Potential key sectors such as energy, economy, industry, infrastructure, transport, waste, agriculture, and environment, hydrogen, cities, and etc. I should also say that other nations have already shown interest in this sector, for example, Singapore and European Union. And last, to conclude, I remind you with the platform, when you think about doing business in the UAE, you can visit this website for doing business in UAE. and thank you for inviting us. Thank you very much.